What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. We got my favorite thing to do of all times, which is to look at some numbers. Numbers are always fun. It kind of tells you where we're going, what we're doing, what we've done, and, you know, if you know how to forecast properly, you can kind of make some assumptions about the future. But I don't think we're going to get to that. I went too philosophical there. But anyway, what I wanted to take a look at, we haven't done this in a little while, which is look at some hot cards, hot movers for the week, last 7 days. Specifically going to look at 90s basketball. And then also we're going to take a quick peek at some gem rate data, which looking at January versus February tells a pretty interesting story. So first thing we're going to do, hop on over to Card Hedge, and this is a great opportunity for me to remind you guys that the app is live. We launched the app for Card Hedge, so anything that you see me doing here, you'll be able to do on your mobile device, whether you're iOS or Android. Both are available for download. The app is available for download. So as of right now, I'm using the desktop app. So if you feel like using the desktop app is a better approach for you, the link's down in the description if you guys want to sign up for the collection management stuff and being able to track your collection prices and all that stuff. But if we're looking at strictly card prices, I wanted to look at basketball. So we have the ability to do that by sport, and then also we have the ability to look at a couple other filters by years. So if I look at strictly 1990s, so we can filter by sport, whether you want to look at baseball, football, hockey, soccer, Pokemon, got a couple other ones down here. We're going to look specifically at basketball, but then also we're going to take a look very specifically at 90s basketball, which is near and dear to my heart, obviously. Because I wanted to take a look and just see kind of, I look at it as a whole, but I never really look at it in terms of just 90s basketball. So looking at just 90s basketball, obviously the reign supreme king is the 90 Fleer basketball base card. Just an absolute base card. Probably one of the reasons why it's such a popular card is because there's like 25 or 30,000 of them. Yeah, so PSA 10 got 6,000 pop count, and then PSA 9 23,000, almost 24,000 pop count. No, 23, just a little bit up, 23,000. This is almost 6,000 pop count. So I got to assume that when the documentary came out, Last Dance documentary came out, that was probably one of the more graded cards out there. Everybody probably had a ton of them. Everybody probably thought that they were going to grade them and make a ton of money off of them, so they just graded them in droves. Kobe Bryant is probably the only card that's on this top 10 list that I don't have. I've always just been searching for a good copy at a decent price, and looking at a PSA 8 and a PSA 9, that's kind of fallen within my price range of 100 150 bucks per card transaction. So probably gonna be on the lookout for one at the Dallas Card Show coming up. So but yeah, so next up after that we got the Jordan, then the Kobe, then Shaq, and then followed by just some of the other staples. Listen, if you look at this top 10, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, you cannot seriously be a 90s basketball collector unless you have every single one of these cards, because they're all relatively cheap in terms of price. It's one of the reasons why 90s basketball, aside from me growing up in that era and falling in love with basketball during that era, there's just so many cheap cards that are just absolute gems to have. 90s basketball, Skybox, 90 Hoops Jordan, and then Shaq rookie card, Kobe rookie card, and then of course the infamous Mark Jackson. Man, 33 of them in the last 7 days have changed hands. I don't know if I think I heard something about eBay no longer allowing people to sell that card because of what it's tied to. But anyway, Upper Deck Jordan, one of the classic ones. I like this one, but I like the other one better because that one's actually got a slam dunk pose on there, which is a little bit, here we go, 92 Upper Deck classic shot of Michael Jordan. It's just a dope card. Just an absolutely dope card. All right. So anyway, there's your top 10 on hottest 90s basketball cards this week. I wanted to take a quick look at some gem rate data. Now, I don't know if they didn't release January. I think there was some funky timing there. But they just released January and then also released February. So taking a look at January data, pretty flat for the most part, right? PSA continued to do 1 million in January, 81,000 for SGC in the month of January. But then also what I wanted to take a look at is February. So literally exactly the same for PSA. They did 1 million cards. They're going to continue to do 1 million cards. Like I've told you guys before, just PSA reigns supreme when it comes to volume, right? Does the quality still stick around at 1 million cards per month? I don't know. That has yet to be determined. But one of the things I don't really like about the way gem rate does this is that CSG and CGC, the way that they report this number, they report them together. I think they should report them separately because CSG is a different group from CGC. And CGC last month did... well, let me see. That's February. So in January, CSG, which is the sports division, only did 34,000 cards. CGC did 97,000, which is the TCG side of it. I think they should, again, I think they should probably be reporting those separate because the number can be a little bit deceiving. 101,000 total. There was pop report maintenance, so they didn't get the CSG number. But again, pretty flat, 0% change, 5% change. SGC, however, 92,000 for the month, a 10%, 15% change from the previous month. But what I want to look at more specifically is the categories. You'll notice SGC for the month of February did 10,000 cards, and that's a 333% increase from the previous month. They did run a special. One of the things I like about SGC and looking at their numbers is when they run a special, because their turnaround times are so quick, you're immediately going to see that in the pop reports. You know, just because your cards are in and out in less than a week, right? So if they start running something at the beginning of the month, already in month 2 and week 2, 3, and 4 of the month, you're going to start seeing those numbers start trickling in. But just a huge jump in soccer for them as well that month. Actually, a huge jump for everybody in soccer. Beckett, with the exception of PSA, they actually went down that month in February. So just some good, strong numbers from them in terms of, from SGC, in terms of kind of getting into that TCG market. Now, obviously, they're not going to hold a candle to PSA, right? Half of their output is in TCG. So clearly the TCG market still covets PSA. You know, for resale value, obviously that's where it's going to be. But it's good to see SGC kind of taking a bit of a chunk out of that. So that's good. That's good to see because I think so. That was February. January, I think they only did like a couple thousand TCG cards. Yeah, 2.4. So 2,400 TCG cards instead of versus the 10,000 that they had in February. Now, granted, they ran like I said, they ran a special on that. But anyway, that was good to see. So we'll jump off of there. But you know, just good stuff overall. I think I want to try to put this kind of data out on a weekly basis, looking at different segments of collecting, different sports, different eras, and things like that. Obviously, I started with vintage or 90s basketball because that's what I like to do. But we'll bounce around a little bit and continue to look at that gem rate data on a week-to-week basis. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I really do appreciate you guys' feedback. Remember, the app is available for download for Card Hedge if you want to go through any of the data that I just went through for the 90s basketball. You can do that. And then the link is in the description if you want to sign up for any of the collection management side of Card Hedge. So appreciate you guys watching as always. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Love y'all. Peace.